Wow guys, I've just come out of the PJ Eggle workshop and I have to say, this has changed the way I see guitars. Hello guitarists, welcome back to Squealing Pig Guitars, the home of luxury drum machines here in Nottingham, England. My name is Keightley and today we're making a trip down to Shropshire to check out PJ Eggle guitars. Believe it or not, I've never been to a guitar workshop before, so I'm extremely excited to see how the guitars are made. I've only played a handful of PJ Eggle guitars in my time. I've only played an OZ before, so I'm very excited to see all the other models that they make. So time is marching on and I've got a train book, so I'm going to book an Uber now and let's get to the train station. And whilst I'm taking this Uber ride, make sure to go down on this video and hit subscribe if you're new. YouTube tells us that 70% of you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the Squealing Pig Guitars family. So after 3 hours on the train, I finally arrived in Shropshire. I have to say the countryside was beautiful, but it was raining, which was a little bit of a problem as I wasn't really dressed for the occasion. So I've arrived now in Shropshire. It's absolutely down, typical English weather as always, and I'm definitely not dressed for it, but let's head over to PJ Eggle Guitars now. So I've just arrived here at PJ Eggle Guitars. I'm in the workshop, obviously, where they make all of their guitars, and it's awesome to be in a guitar workshop as I've never actually been to one before. So turning you around now, this is one of the main workshops here at PJ Eggle. This is where they do all the fret dresses and restringing and, you know, pretty much just work on the guitars, and I was so surprised at how small it was. This really opened my eyes and really gave me the perspective of why they call it boutique and handcrafted. All of these guitars are made by a small team of very passionate luthiers who lovingly create each guitar. I was really impressed by this, and as I mentioned in the title of this video, it really changed the way I see guitar building and guitars as a whole. So here's the main area where they do most of the woodworking for these guitars. Apparently they get them CNC cut from America and then they're hand finished here. So let's have a look at a few body blanks. So I have to say, it's really cool to see these guitars in such a foundation stage. They don't have any finish on them, there's no lacquer, they've just been sanded, and it's in a very foundation stage of the guitar building process. I have to say, I've never seen this before. It's crazy to think that each one of these necks or each one of these body blanks is going to turn into someone's personal instrument. It's such a spectacle to see. From this visit, I really got a new appreciation for what goes into the guitar building process, from the inlays to the wood selection to the finishing. There's so many micro parts that go into guitars that we don't fully appreciate. These are all beautifully handcrafted instruments and all tell their own story. So now that we've taken a look at the workshop here at PJ Eggle, let's play some of their wonderful guitar models. So guitar number one is called the Macon, and this is a carved top in faded gold burst. This comes in at £4,995. The Macon carved top is a modern reimagining of the classic single cut, blending vintage soul with contemporary precision, handcrafted in the UK. For this video, I'm using the Marshall Studio Plexi mic'd up with an Audio-Technica condenser microphone, going straight into GarageBand on my Mac. This Macon created a really nice creamy tone on the neck pickup, a lovely kind of warm response, very reminiscent of a 50s Les Paul. I then added my spark booster and pushed the master a little bit on the Marshall, and I got this pretty nice overdriven tone for heart-shaped box. Obviously I'm in drop D for this tune. The way I described how this Macon plays is an extremely ergonomic Les Paul. It doesn't feel like a Les Paul. It's lightweight. It's got a faded kind of satin finish. It's a very ergonomic feeling guitar, very similar to maybe like a PRS or a Sir. Actually very similar to that Sir Aura I played the other day. It didn't really feel like a Les Paul at all, but it has a visual aspect and the tone is very similar to Les Paul's. For those interested about the specs, we obviously have a mahogany body. We then have a quadruple A master grade maple top. We then have a mahogany neck, rosewood fingerboard with a medium C profile and a 12-inch fretboard radius. The pickups in these guitars are the Mojotone pickups. On the website it just says neck humbucker 7.0K and the bridge humbucker 8.4K. For the bridge they have the Faber Tune-O-Matic, the tuners are the Goto SD90s, and the finish is a hand-burnished nitrocellulose. The guitar weighs 7 pounds 7 ounces and you can find it on sale on the PJ Eggle website. Make sure to wait till the end of this video to hear my ratings on all of these PJ Eggle guitars featured in today's video. But let's move on to the next guitar. Guitar number 2 is what PJ Eggle called the 96 Vintage, which is in a torched 2-tone sunburst. You can get this on their website for £3,300. So as soon as I plugged this guitar in, I just noticed the classic tones coming from this 96 Vintage. Obviously, it encapsulates everything that you'd want from a Strat style guitar. However, the main difference between this guitar and a Stratocaster was how well this guitar played. It was in tune, stayed well intonated, it was very slinky to play, and the neck was nice and thin. Also, the body contours were a little bit more ergonomic than a Strat in my opinion, and I loved the satin finish. For the guitar nerds out there, the body is Swampash and we have a maple neck with a rosewood fingerboard, and the neck profile is described as a shallow C. We have a compound fretboard radius from 10 inches to 6 inches and we have the medium tall frets. Again, the pickups are Mojotone. We have the neck, the middle and the bridge. It's 5.7K in the neck, 5.8 in the middle and 6.3K in the bridge, and we have a Goto vintage trem and Goto tuners. It weighs 6 pounds 10 ounces and it felt absolutely beautiful to play. It also features a Bakelite pickguard, which is a pretty cool feature if you're into vintage instruments. Now my favourite for last. Of course I'll put all the ratings at the end of today's video, but this was my favourite out of all of them. This is the Macon Vintage in Tobacco Burst, and this comes in at a grand total of £3,400. For me, this guitar encapsulated all of them classic 50s tones with these soap bar P90s. But the main difference is it had incredible intonation and incredible tuning stability. And that's the main thing I'm looking for when I'm playing guitar. But the tone was just so great from these pickups. I really enjoyed playing this guitar, and that's why it was my favourite. So this guitar is constructed with a mahogany body and it has a roasted flamed maple neck and a rosewood fingerboard. The neck profile is described as a fat C and it has a 12-inch fretboard radius. The pickups are Mojotone again. These are the P90s in the neck and the bridge, and it's a 6.5K in the neck and 8.4 in the bridge. Again, we have that Faber wraparound tailpiece. We've got the Goto SD90 tuners, and we have a heat-aged nitrocellulose finish. If you look very closely, you'll see there's a little bit of lacquer checking on this guitar, which really adds to its vintage beauty. And we have a 7 pounds and 13 ounces for the weight. So guys, I'm back here at Squealing Pig Guitars HQ, and what a day I've had. Of course, just got back from PJ Eggle Guitars. It took about 3.5 hours to get back on the train, but I'm back here in the studio now, and I just want to give you some final thoughts from today's video. Firstly, I really hope you've enjoyed this vlog. We're really eager to try and do more vlogs on the channel, so make sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed. Also, comment down below which was your favourite model that I played. I'm going to be getting into my review and rating of each guitar in a little bit, so make sure to stay tuned. But most importantly, before I get into that, make sure to hit subscribe if you're new. It really helps us grow this channel, which means bigger and better vlogs just like this one. Firstly, I'd just like to give a big thank you to PJ Eggle Guitars. Lee helped me out and obviously showed me around the shop, so thank you so much, Lee, for showing us about, and obviously a big thank you to Patrick, James Eggle as well, for letting us film. So in today's video, I have to say that my favourite guitar was the Macon Vintage, the 2P90 guitar with the sunburst finish. That was an incredible guitar, and I'm going to rate it a 9.2 out of 10. For me, that guitar encapsulated everything that's great about a Les Paul Special, but I loved how ergonomic, how the tuning was stable, and the intonation was flawless around the guitar. It also had some other high-end elements, like a roasted flamed maple neck. I really liked the lightweight nature of it and the nitrocellulose checking. That is a beautiful guitar, and I'd love to own one day. Secondly then, the Strat Style one, the 96 Vintage, I would give that guitar a 7.5. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Strats, but for me, this cured all the problems that I find with vintage Strats. The playability again was flawless, the ergonomic nature was awesome. I wasn't as big of a fan of the way that this guitar looked, but it did sound incredible on the video. Again, I really enjoyed the neck position and the middle position, but I didn't like the two out of phase positions. I found that the in-between tones were a little too jangly for my liking. And then finally, the first guitar I played, which was probably the most aesthetically beautiful guitar, I'm going to give an 8.6. Again, an incredible, flawless design, really ergonomic, stayed in tune, didn't have to tune it once. Really enjoyed the pickups in this one. Obviously, all of these guitars have Mojotone pickups. Again, I thought this had a really nice kind of thick and crunchy tone, and I'd highly recommend it to someone who's looking for a Les Paul, but that's just a little bit different. But they are all my honest ratings of these guitars. Of course, this isn't a sponsored video by PJ Eggle. All these opinions are my own, but they were incredibly well-made guitars, and I'd highly recommend checking out a PJ Eggle guitar if you get the chance. But as always, guys, I really hope you've enjoyed. Let me know in the comment section below which guitar was your favourite, and make sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed. At the end of this video, I'm going to be putting some additional takes of tones just so you can hear the Macon and the 96 Vintage in a little bit more detail. So stay tuned if you'd like to see some more tones. That'll be at the end of today's video. But thank you so much for watching this Squealing Pig Guitars video. My name is Ben Keightley, and I'll see you again very soon for another one. But until then, keep rocking, guys. I'll see you soon.